What is up, YouTube? How y'all doing? That's half and half echo and stuff. Check it out. Thank y'all, man. Thank y'all so much, man. I got the power. I got the power. Don't forget, we live. We got the Music Recording Network live. The Music Recording Network live. You probably got to scroll down a little bit. If you put it in the search bar, you'll see the blue world, our logo, with the word live written in the middle. It's written in red. That's our live channel. Go over there, or you can check our, what y'all call it? It used to be called the descriptions, but it's links below with it where it just says more. You click on more, y'all. How did I get in this seat? In our more information, I guess that's the information section. So y'all click there, man, and all that stuff. But check this out. My main man, Popcorn. You know what? I went and got me some popcorn just because of your channel, man. I like your channel, man. I'm in that joint getting all the juicy info. I like channels that put out great info. You know what I'm saying? Hey, pow. We live, y'all. That's people in my live side the channel, man. Thank y'all so much, Mike. For real. You're a legend. Lisa trying to get on my good side. Lisa. Thank you, Lisa. Look here. Something about Murray. Check this out, man. Jay-Z's in trouble. Now I pulled this up. All jokes aside, man. This lawyer, he's talking to this lawyer about some things, man. I thought it was very important to get the information out there. So hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Let's check out what the lawyer got to say, man. This is interesting. I thought, check it out. Let's go.
A lot more statements have come in since this allegation against Jay-Z. We have Christopher Melcher to break it all down.
Y'all go over there to the popcorn.
Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor. Big breaking news last night. Jay-Z has now been added to one of these lawsuits, one of these Diddy lawsuits. Christopher, so glad to have you here. I have so many questions. How you doing?
Pretty good. First question is probably what happened with this mustache, but
it looks great. I love it. I'm going to see how much it grows. I want a full Tom Selleck by end of the month. Let's see how it goes. But no, welcome. It looks fantastic, sir. But, you know, the big news today is this Jay-Z lawsuit. We've been texting, I know, a few of your thoughts, but just for those to update real quick, he has now been added to this lawsuit. This was from a Jane Doe. He has now been, it was readjusted, and Sean Carter has been added, along with a whole section about how allegedly Carter has now tried to bully, harass Busby and his client. It's all in this new amended lawsuit. Jay-Z responded. We posted that last night. If you missed my reaction to that, go check that out. A lot of you guys caught it. But since then, we've had a lot of other reactions, including Tony Busby, Diddy's lawyers, and everybody else has come forward. Before we get all to that, I just want to get to the first question to you, Christopher. How worried should Jay-Z be? Obviously, these are allegations, and Jay-Z's come out forcefully. This isn't me. He didn't really fully deny it specifically, but he's clearly aggressively trying to put out that this Tony Busby character is a character. How worried should Jay-Z and Beyonce be, in your opinion?
Well, this is one of the most horrific things to be accused of for anyone. And so what I like Jay-Z's statement that he was pointing to the harm that's caused to his family, the need for him to now explain to his family and probably friends and wife and everything, and go and deny that he did this. And it's very painful, I'm sure. And, you know, the problem, and ultimately we're going to get into, is it's very easy to file a lawsuit. If you have a computer and word processor, you can just type whatever you want to and file it with the court. And that's honestly all we have at this point to make what is one of the most serious accusations that could be made against an individual.
Yeah, well said. Again, everybody due process. A lot of people jumping to Jay-Z, conclusions against Jay-Z, and we'll go there a little bit as well. But yeah, his response was a lot. For me, though, my big red flag was very deflective, defensive. Now, I get when you're innocent, you want to do that, you want to go attack, but it was a lot of just trying to slander Tony's character, bringing up that he was a Marine, which is a lot of stuff that just felt like, what is this? Is this necessary? Now, it goes both ways of why not just say I wasn't there, I've never seen this woman, I don't know what's going on. There's a lot of questions, and my biggest question, why not condemn Diddy up until this point? Do you think any of that has hurt sort of his people's opinion of Jay-Z, that he's sort of been silent on all this, and now he's being active and defending himself, but didn't condemn his friend who's on that video against Cassie, with many wondering, well, you guys go way back. Are you condemning or going to call this out?
Yeah, that's always difficult to know what to say, when to say, all that. And, especially here with this allegation being made against Jay-Z, trying to get out quick. These statements are never going to be perfect. I do treat his statement as a denial for sure. And the reason why he's calling out Busby is because attorney Busby has inserted himself into the story. If we recall the press conference with the big 1-800 number in the back. And so Busby made the story about him. And that's really something that, as lawyers or advocates, we should never do. It's not about us. It's not our case. It's about the plaintiff and defendant in this particular situation. But here, it's about Busby. And if you look into Busby's background, I think he's an accomplished lawyer. He has been very successful, but he has this really outlandish lifestyle. And you're talking, multiple exotic cars and mansion and art that he proudly displays. And sure, if he's earned all that money, that's fine. But it just seems over the top. And I got to think that the amount of publicity that he put around the story about trying to find other accusers, the 100 and something people he was representing, it made it more about Busby. And that's why I think he is now fair game. And what Jay-Z and others have said is that they basically get a letter from a lawyer saying, pay us or else. Now, Busby saying, well, there wasn't a demand for payment, but come on, this is a letter from a lawyer saying, I'm making a claim against you and I want to go to mediation, which is a settlement conference.
Not to interrupt, but I want you, because exactly have it on screen. Mr. Carter previously denied being the one who sued me and my firm. He even filed his frivolous case under a pseudonym. What he fails to say in his recent statement is my firm sent his lawyer a demand letter on behalf of an alleged victim, and that victim never demanded a penny from him. Instead, she only sought a confidential mediation. Since I sent the letter on her behalf, Mr. Carter has not only sued me, but he has tried to bully and harass me and this plaintiff. His conduct has had the opposite impact. She is emboldened. I'm very proud to resolve. One thing I will add to it, previously, Kim caught this back in November 18th. He did say here, the case that I filed in firm is not only without legal merit, it's laughable. On behalf of two clients who alleged SA, we sent a standard demand letter to a New York lawyer that we know represents an alleged perpetrator and a potential defendant. It does imply like there were multiples. Like Jay-Z might be multiple, but he doesn't mention that here, which is strange, because if he's really got proof and all this evidence, wouldn't you say, oh no, not only is he bad, but we have another client coming? It does seem a little wishy-washy to me. Is this a fair response from him, or what is your reaction to that?
Well, it's a ridiculous response for Busby to say that they weren't looking for money. Of course they're looking for money. I mean, he's retained. He only gets paid as a percentage of the amount that he collects. He's not going to send a letter to Jay-Z's attorney asking to go to mediation, which is a settlement conference, unless he anticipates, asking for money. So there's no question. So I disagree with the response. And it's fine if he wants to try and settle things quietly. That's great. Give him an opportunity. But this thing has been pretty noisy, again, with the press conference. And Busby also was saying he wasn't going to just go against Diddy. He's going to go against all these other people, which is fine. If they're active participants in any wrongful conduct, they should be held accountable. But he's also talking about going after the hotel where some of these things occurred, or who knows, maybe the manufacturer of the baby oil. So he's out there with a dragnet, sending these letters and shaking down money from them. Now, not to say that it's a level of extortion, but it's like, this is the game that's being played. So I think Busby is fair game to go after and ultimately show your cards, Busby, because again, he's posting a picture of himself as a Marine, some old picture. Why don't you post some proof here? Because if you remember before we saw the Cassie video, Diddy went out there and said that was a shakedown, and people just don't know because we weren't there. We didn't witness what happened. So people take sides or get confused. When the Cassie video came out, it was clear. Where is the Jay-Z video?
Yeah, it's interesting. He brought up the fact that he was a Marine in Jay-Z's response, but he has no integrity or valor. You've neither of those, honor, etc. And Busby definitely jumped on that. Recognize this guy. It's a picture of weapons platoon commander, Alpha Company, 1st Battalion, 4th Marines from our old Western, blah, blah, blah. During a coordinated aggressive effort that has included harassing my kids, contacting my clients and former clients to encourage them to sue me, contacting my colleagues or former employees asking if I've been ABUSD'd, showing up at my current employees' homes to harass them, filing frivolous cases with none of this really matters, right? I am still that guy. I won't be bullied or intimidated. People will see through the effort to discredit me. I guess what's the end game now? Because you make a good point of like, look, you can post the Marine photos. Was this out of line even for Jay-Z to go bring up his Marine status? We could all argue who do you believe? But you're right. At the end of the day, where's the evidence? And is it Tony's job to put the evidence now out there? Because don't you wait for a trial for that? Do you think Busby really would have done all this, put his name on the line, and now Jay-Z's name on the line if they didn't have something else to show for it?
Well, that's it. I would hope for Busby's sake that he has vetted this information and he has some corroboration around it, because Busby, is potentially going to be liable if he, knowingly made a false claim. He's going to bear personal responsibility for this. So I would hope that he has the evidence to support it. But again, we haven't seen it. Technically, you don't have to present that until, court time. But here he's doing these press conferences at the same. So we have this press relations and then the court action going on. And so, again, the response by Busby is showing like, this is about him. I am a warrior. I'm not going to back down. I kind of view that as a way of getting more clients, because, again, look at some of the videos and that Busby has put up about, walk through his home and all the exotic cars. That's going to be extraordinarily expensive to maintain that lifestyle. He's going to have to continue bringing on clients. And I see this as advertising.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, we don't know. He could have something. I guess my question, though, is if he doesn't, is Tony really then liable? I mean, can he say, I was just believing my client and she came forward? What can Jay-Z and particularly Alex Spiro, a very powerful and talented lawyer, what can they actually do here against Busby?
So there's claims for malicious prosecution or defamation and libel. Some of that's going to be protected because things that are said in the course of litigation generally are not actionable unless they're just knowingly false claims that are being made. But some of these statements were made pre-litigation, meaning before the case was filed, I believe. So that's going to potentially be actionable. Somebody's filed the suit. I'm not exactly sure who filed that suit, but it could very well be Jay-Z's lawyer filed against Busby. So, again, it's like those are hard cases to win, but they're not impossible. I mean, look at Johnny Depp, he overcame a lot of odds to go after Amber. So this could happen. Jay-Z's got a bigger bankroll than Busby does for sure. And so, again, I hope for Busby's sake and his client's sake that they actually have some proof here, because this is a horrific allegation to make just without...
I'm curious, does this, as a lawyer, does this help when Diddy's lawyers are now coming to your defense? The amended complaint and recent extortion expose a barrage of lawsuits against Mr. Combs for what they are: shameless publicity stunts designed to extract payments from celebrities who fear having lies spread about them, just as lies have been spread about Mr. Combs. As his legal team has said before, Mr. Combs has full confidence the facts and integrity of the judicial process in court. The truth will prevail, that Mr. Combs never SA'd or trafficked anyone, man, woman, adult, or minor. Do you think that's actually good for Jay-Z that Diddy's team's out there doing that?
No, I got to think Jay-Z is going to want as much.
Wait a minute, Diddy team? Wait, I'm studying, y'all. It's some things in this thing. I'm gonna say something at the end, but wait a minute. So Jay-Z has been sued for drugging and raping a 13-year-old. You got to say the R and all that stuff. Wait a minute, I'm gonna have to look at this offline and stuff. Because he's saying
lies have been spread about Mr. Combs. As his legal team has said before, Mr. Combs has full confidence the facts and integrity of the judicial process in court. The truth will prevail, that Mr. Combs never SA'd or trafficked anyone, man, woman, adult, or minor. Do you think that's actually good for Jay-Z that Diddy's team's out there doing that?
No, I got to think Jay-Z is going to want as much distance as possible. I mean, Diddy is in a completely different situation than Jay-Z. Again, it's like I think just as a matter of due process and rights that we have as individuals, that we carry with us some presumption of innocence. And until some evidence has been presented that convinces, particularly a jury. But here it's like just us in public. Again, Busby with his word processor banging out a complaint. That's all we have right now. There's not a shred of evidence that I'm aware of that suggests that Jay-Z did anything. So I would just, for me, I'm holding any judgment until I see proof.
Well, he makes the comment of this should be a criminal case, but Busby doesn't have that choice, right? That'd be up for the government, and they still could, right? I mean, the other thing is we're making a video on this for later today. Jay-Z does have a strange history, Christopher. There's a lot of stories of these young, very young teenage artists, Rihanna, Aaliyah, even Beyonce, who were sort of coerced and forced into these things. There's a story Rihanna told back in the day. So there's a lot of stuff that's coming forward. Then there's all the Jaguar rights out there who have been saying they're labeling her this conspiracy theorist, but they're not suing her. And granted, she might not have the money, but at some point, if it's this serious, Christopher, and these lies are now coming out, wouldn't you say, F the money, let's shut her up and go after her? If you have all the money in the world and Alex Spiro, why not put yourself up against the Jaguar rights who are out there starting these allegations in the first place?
Yeah, so I mean, definitely, if it was Jay-Z behind the lawsuit against Busby, then he's going on the offensive. So, some of those lawsuits work, some of them don't work. But I just think, like I say, I don't know. That's my point. I'm not defending Jay-Z. I'm just defending his right to
due process.
To due process, saying, hey, this needs to be heard in court, and if he did something wrong, he should absolutely be held accountable for it. But right now, we basically have a filing of a lawsuit and some press releases. So I am just personally want to see something and have this right in court here rather than just being tried in the press.
As it should be, as we all should be, but it won't be because it's the internet. But anyway, we'll try our best, and we're going to give you some more stuff as well to look into. So stay tuned. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Follow Christopher Melcher over at @CA_divorce. Always a pleasure to have you, sir. I enjoy the mustache. Let Christopher know what you think of his mustache down in the comments down below. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe, hit the bell for all alerts, smash that thumbs up, and leave your comments down below. We will be covering this throughout the week, so don't miss it. Hit that bell, hit the alerts, leave the comments. We'll be back with you with a lot more on this very soon.
Busby is making this situation personal. Yeah. Here's the thing. First of all, the less you hear from a person, the bigger they are. The less you hear, that's why Jay-Z is not going after Jaguar right. This is in Jay-Z's mind. I'm big. I got big fish to fry. I got things to do. Jaguar is just talk in Jay-Z's eye. But the more that talk is getting bigger and bigger, like a tornado is getting bigger and bigger. Perfect example. In my eyes, I thought Courtney, with this little book that he done just gathered everything off the internet and put it all together to do this book. I ran out and bought the book and everything. Still haven't read it yet. I'm going to start reading it. I swear I'm going to start reading it next Monday. I got some things I got to do. But my point is, when I first met Courtney, right? When I first met him, it was on a YouTube channel. He was on this big old news channel. Big old news channel, right? With a lawyer sitting beside him and the lawyer sitting there. I'm like, oh, shucks, don't know who this dude is, but he looks big time. He's on a big time news thing. And that shrunk all the way down quick, fast, and in a hurry. It shrunk down when he started doing all these podcasts. And I'm like, well, God dang. Then my man Too Strong interviewed him. I talk to me and Too Strong talk every day. The more I see him, the more he talk, and the more the world can say, he can't even talk straight. He barely made it through that interview. If he would have did that interview and got quiet, he lied about, they said that they broke into his house. They raided his house. Those are words he used. And then his lawyer started saying, wait a minute, it wasn't no raid. They just came and gave him a subpoena. What? Oh man, his got torn up. Now we got Busby, who's this big time lawyer. We going after anybody. We got this 1-800 number and all this stuff. Now Busby is fighting with his feelings by putting stuff, I don't know where he put it at, X or whatever. Yeah, I'm a Marine. And I'm gonna show you proof and do all this social media back and forth. You supposed to be bigger than that. You supposed to be representing the people, man. Why are you getting into this Jay-Z contest? I gotta watch what I say. I want to say, you know how they say men get into a peeing contest. Why are you doing this? We losing hope from you, man. I'm scared now because now they attacking you. You supposed to be a lawyer. Everything squeaky clean. Now I'm hearing this John Doe that's coming forward he or she or whoever it is putting out some information saying that you making her say this stuff. What? Allegedly, I don't know. I'm still researching it, man. I'm trying to get to the bottom of this. I don't know why in the world y'all can't just play straight. Stop playing so crooked. Oh my God, no. They get ready to, man, this dude is great. Screw all this stuff up, man. Next thing you know, I can see Puffy now giving press release. Puffy, now that you out, what's going to happen? I told y'all I was innocent from day one. Why he walking free. And all these victims is over here hurt. I'm telling y'all, the bad people don't have no rules to play by. We got to play by all the rules. So we need to be straight with this stuff, man. I don't understand them. I'm going to let you slide on that one, man. Come on, Busby. Don't do no more. The lawyers is telling these people, look at Misha and the other little English girl. They ain't got no lawyers. The English lawyer dropped her because she can't keep her mouth shut. Misha can't even get a lawyer because she all over here talking about some snake venom. Come on, man. That's some movie stuff. That's movie stuff. And y'all think I'm crazy? I don't understand these people. Bugsy, you supposed to be the lawyer of all lawyers. Shame on you. Get your shit together, boy. Pissing me off over here, man. Look here, let me get on up out of here. Y'all take it slow. Tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.